gentlemen of the press, our state must move forward. As an assembly, we are severely solicitous of progress for our state. All of us cannot be held to ransom by one man's ego. All of us must join hands to plead with the governor to do the right thing in the right and lawful way so our states can make progress. This assembly has borne the brunt of this crisis. We have endured immense hardship. We have been battered almost beyond our carrying capacity. We have been punished unduly and unfairly for trying to perform our constitutional duties. Our governor must not extend this punishment to Rivers people. No. Please no. We must not allow it. We have seen hell. Our hallowed chamber was burnt down by the governor. The House of Assembly complex was brought down by the governor, totally demolished alongside our personal effects and belongings. Our speaker's residence was brutally attacked. Our residential quarters was mindlessly invaded. Our allowances have been seized for about a year and 6 months now. We still continue to suffer. Yet, we are resolved to put all this behind us in the interest of our state so that our states can move forward. We cannot afford to punish our people because of our ego and personal interests. Ladies and gentlemen, we have aged pensioners who must receive their pensions. We have our teachers in public schools who we depend on for our children to be educated. They must be paid their salaries. We have government hospitals and health centers which our people depend on for discounted and affordable medical services. We have public schools which depend on public funds for their daily running. The governor is toying with the lives and livelihoods of Rivers people. Let us please all call on him to do the right thing in the interest of our states and its people, to put his personal interest behind and put the interests of the entirety of Rivers people at the fore. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, welcome back. That's the position of the House as stated by the spokesperson, Endemi George. I'm not going to say too much. That took quite some time, so straight to the phone lines. I'm hoping you heard everything. Different perspectives. The governor is playing to the gallery. They received no letters. They have been working for the interests of the people. It's the governor that's delaying. The governor does not want to implement the Supreme Court judgment and many other things that basically puts all of the blame on the table of the governor. At this point, another question has been added. So who do you think, from the statements you heard and the actions you've seen, is serving the best interest of the state? And since that happened, because this statement was over the weekend on the 14th, so that should be Friday, a couple of things have happened. The House has served a misconduct notice on the governor, which seemingly looks like it's a first step to impeachment. They haven't said that, but that's what it looks like. Also, okay, it'll come to me. But let's talk. 08179230002. Yes, he has 14 days, just remembered, to respond to the notice. Of course, investigation and all of that will follow. Even though the House is on indefinite recess, well, if the governor responds, it's possible the House will convene to do what it needs to do. 08179230002. 08179230003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can watch, listen, and engage. I'm all about taking those reactions because we have used up quite some time. Hello. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay. Call back if you can. Kelvin Frank says, good evening, Oracle. As much as Rivers crisis affects Rivers people, more especially the local government workers that have the largest workforce, we are not unaware that a divide is meting the unwarranted punishment to Rivers people and the non-indigenous. So if the position held by Honorable Endemi George, the spokesperson of the House, is directing to impeach the governor, then they have thought of the impossibility from the pit of hell, because we know his divide in the crisis is playing the script of the FCT minister, a strong face-off with the governor. Again, the allocation they feel is being held hostage by the federal government. My happiness is their people are also involved. Kelvin Iyob Frank says. Obed from Transamadi, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sam.
Good evening. You have a minute and a few seconds. Please go ahead.
Mr. Sam, you can see insincerity on what they have to see. The letter in the unfortunately, I see. You know, it's unfortunate. We all can look. This has made up their mind what they intend to do. It's not as if the letter didn't get to them. Sam, I was at assembly when governor came. I was around that place that day when governor came to that assembly quarters. And some boys with me that drove away, they were saying, I can tell you what I'm telling you is I witnessed what I witnessed between the boys who worked in that assembly. What they were saying is, let them see how that letter will be delivered. So, which means there is a premeditated, conspiracy among this assembly member not to pretend as if no letter gets to them.
Okay.
So I can tell you with all sincerity that Kelly or whoever who the voice you just played is not saying the truth. You understand? The governor is doing everything possible. Initially, the governor wrote to them to come to government house, and when I read the letter of the governor, he outlined on how to pay them their remuneration.
All right, Obed.
Go back to that letter.
Thank you very much. You're out of time. We have to move on now. The person whose voice you heard is Honorable Enemy George, a member of the River State House of Assembly. I know that you have your differences and all of that, but it's important that you address the characters properly. Anointed from Port. Okay, I've lost that call. I'll be speaking to Lawson shortly. Bernard on WhatsApp says, the lawmakers are preaching peace with one mouth and acting war with another. The Supreme Court has given a judgment. Why not follow the path of peace? They keep throwing the arrow of war each day. These are the same people who went on recess last week Friday after the governor wrote to them. Bernard from Port Harcourt says, and he goes on to say, even if they impeach the governor, it doesn't make them heroes. Lawson from Yenagua. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
I don't know really. This is not good development at all for Rivers State. My name is Lawson by the
All right.
It's good development. And I think at this point now, like I keep saying, that the governor should look at it. Whatever, those things, quite frankly, I don't even know why their party has gotten to this level. So it has become a classic case of render to Caesar the things that are of Caesar, and Rivers people the things that are of Rivers people. If before he became governor there were some kind of agreement or whatever, and I think this is the time to see how they can reach all those agreements. For the sake of peace, for me, it's always about peace. For the sake of, because this is not going to be easy for the Rivers, because for the longer it lasts, look at what the enemy judge is saying, which means they are even aware that a lot of Rivers people are going to suffer. Salaries will not be paid, money will not be sent to hospitals. But a lot of things will happen. So please, I am appealing to both sides.
All right.
For them to see how they can come together, some kinds of compromises, and let there be peace. Please.
All right, thank you very much, Lawson. That's just about time. Chima, please go ahead. You have a minute and 30 seconds. Yes, please go ahead.
Even if the speaker tries to be in diversity, I can perceive his nature. The man is hungry, brother. He has not been paid for more than 1 year. You understand? Even as in that, he tried to see how his languages could be coherent. But the issue here is that we have already seen it. That the governor of Rivers State hasn't really come to practice democracy. From the inception of this voting, it hasn't. Now it was before, what did I do? That was the list of the day by then. But it stands now. Everything is not showing that these are the things you have done. And what have you done about it? Now the issue is that this Rivers State is not a personal institution. You cannot dogmat us. If the governor of Rivers State is not being impeached, I, Chimadike, will not be happy. Because it starts now, my languages are ready, I want to leave this state. Because I cannot continue to dwell in a tyrant government, inside democracy, which my father said, fought for. I cannot do that. I will move to the neighboring state and go enjoy democracy. So let democracy prevail in Rivers State. Let the government in Rivers State be impeached. Because I know that the chief judge that wants to impedal this, but the issue is that whether he likes it or not, he will be caught out also. All those people that have been truncated with River State resources, we will handle them one after the other. My name is Chima Dike. Thank you very much.
All right, Chima, you use exactly the time allotted to you. Gospel from Rumudara. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yes, my name is Ayiba Gospel.
All right.
Sam, listening to the spokesman of River State House of Assembly, Enemy George, keeps me thinking that a whole 27 members, their salaries will be withheld, their allowances not paid, and they have families to cater for. Sam, if not for the executive rascality, Sam, if not for the high-handedness of the governor, he wouldn't have been here today. You know, when you hear some people calling in on radio, speaking from the side of emotion, I begin to wonder where we are going to as a people in the state. Now, there's a judgment of the Supreme Court. What do you expect the governor to do? Come down from your high horse, approach these assembly members, communicate properly with them, submit the budget. As he was given 48 hours by the assembly members, if I were the governor, I would just go and submit copies of the budget I have. Already he submitted the same budget before Okojumbo. You know, why don't you just immediately submit this budget to show that you are prepared and ready to sacrifice for the state to move on?
We're getting to time.
Rather, you are insisting that you are waiting for the CTC of the Supreme Court. No, it baffles me to see that a governor that was sworn in and he swore that he will uphold the law of Nigeria, becoming the lawbreaker.
Okay. Thank you, Gaspar. There's just a bit above the time. Akanto from Bori, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Please go ahead.
Yes, let me look my minute. That's 1 minute and 30 seconds. And Oracle, good evening, my friend.
Good evening.
Yes, and let me tell you, when I listen to any judge, the man that I respect so much, I know that he was speaking. I listened to him also last night. He just emotional.
Hello?
To whip public sentiment because majority of rich people are against the House of Assembly. I can tell you on authoritatively because majority, the multiplied effect of the salary that civil servant in university ends go down vertically and go horizontally to most people. When even the governor pays allowances or pays Christmas bonus, most people benefit from this thing, and so most people are not happy with what the House of Assembly are doing. He said the record also Oracle. Supreme Court judgment is not infallible. If somebody can be in Nigeria where something can go on, maybe the monetization by influence can go on in any court, either Supreme Court or High Court. But we have accepted the Supreme Court verdict. However, let me say.
Oh my. Okay, Akanto. Just a couple of seconds to the time, but thank you very much. Betty, we should have something on Facebook. Yes, indeed we do. Yobo Frank says, as much as Rivers crisis affects Rivers people more, especially local government workers, I'm taking that comment on WhatsApp. MKSM says the governor is not sincere. The assembly do not trust him. Annie Amagboroju Jr. says on Friday, Honorable Enemy George addressed the press on Monday without giving the governor time. They woke up from the recess to reveal their plans. Say person we want draw rain, making wear iron shower cap first. That's interesting. Homakwokwo Joy Justice says millions and billions of naira was spent without appropriation. It is indeed an impeachable offense. And good luck Ibi Fubara says, I think the governor have need to forget about looking for public sympathy. Odepeli Gosoka, the assembly member now says this legislators want is for the governor to hand over the helm of affairs back to the FCT minister. They don't want the governor to present the budget. They are simply trying to see if he will come back to sit to settle their master. Okay. All right, let's do WhatsApp. shall we? Okay, Mufasa is on the phone. I think that will be my final call. Hello, Mufasa.
Yeah, hi, Sam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, Sam, I want to say that, you see, from the way things are going recently, I do not need a soothsayer to tell me who is exactly actually playing to the gallery. Now, all that Honorable Indini Alabo George has said, for me, that is a clear definition of someone playing the ostrich. There was a pronouncement of court, and the governor has said that he is going to activate and obey the pronouncement of court. All the pronouncement is going to obey them in totality. Now you see people just trying to blackmail the governor because interest in the local government council. Sam, that is the crux of the matter. Because of their interest in the local government council, the governor said, I am coming to present the budget. Every other thing will follow. What else do you want this man to do? Just because you want to hijack government, you want to take over the councils, just because of the interest of just a single individual, putting aside the interest of the generality of Rivers people at heart, and you are coming to give speech, coming to whip up sentiment, to play to the gallery. Let me finally inform the Rivers Senate of Assembly that impeachment does not start and end at the floor of the House of Assembly. It is a process, and if they feel they can activate the process, let us see where that process will take us to.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That the interest of the people should be put first in everything.
Thank you, Mufasa. You're out of time. Oh, and I am out of time as well. I was hoping I could take some messages on WhatsApp. Well, coming up next, we're still on this issue, but we're paying attention to the 3 bills passed by the House of Assembly last week. And the question is, do those bills reflect your interest? Because the Speaker clearly said that they were sent by the people. So we'll let the people talk. Stay with us.